Hello again, church family. Hope that you're doing well today. I wanted to try to mix up the scenery a little bit, and since I can't really do anything about this, just here in the church lobby, try to give you a little break from my dining room table there. But the only problem is it's freezing cold in here, and so if my nose is red or you can hear my teeth chattering, that's what that's all about. But I just want to just give you a real quick challenge this afternoon. Something that the Lord just put on my heart, something I don't want us to lose sight of during this time of isolation, where everything is just kind of all about us and everything we're going through and everything that's in our homes. But I just want to challenge you with this, and that's that we live in a world filled with people who don't know Christ. A world of people that are lost and they're going to spend an eternity separated from God forever. I don't want us to lose sight of that. I don't want us to forget that even though we may not be able to come in contact with them on a daily basis, they're still there. We still live in a world of people who desperately need the gospel. God has given us a mission. He's given us a purpose. And no one in the Bible understood that any better than the Apostle Paul. I think of some of the writings of the Apostle Paul, some of the things he said, where he said, "My heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved." Remember when Paul even said that, he said, I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren. I mean, what a prayer, what a desire, what a passion for souls for somebody to be able to say that. He would also say in another place, I have made all things to all men, that by all means I might save some. He was aggressive about getting the gospel to people and willing to do what was necessary to get them the gospel, to see people get saved. But I want to read you another thing that Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter number 9 and verse number 16, where he said, "For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel." Did you hear what Paul said? He said, a necessity is laid upon me. So woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. Here's a man who got it. He understood what was at stake. Look, I'm all for every program, every opportunity where we can get involved in our community and help people with physical needs. I think obviously at this time right now, there's a lot of people that are struggling, a lot of people that are hurting and desperately need physical help, and I'm all for that. But if all we ever do is make this world a better place from which to die and go to hell, then we failed. We've missed the mark. We've missed the point for why God has left us here. He's given us a purpose. He's given us a mission. The Apostle Paul understood that. He understood what it meant to feel that burden, to feel that necessity that was laid on him as a recipient of the gospel, to make sure that he gave it out to anybody and everybody. And so he was intense about it. This was something that was real to him, and I hope that it'll be real to us. I know today is not as simple as maybe as it used to be. You know, we can't just go knock on doors. We can't just walk through a mall and see hundreds and thousands of people all around us. We have to maybe get creative. I know some of you, I'm sure you're still eating out, getting takeout. You can pass out tracts there, having stuff delivered. You know, all kinds of restaurants are doing delivery. You can have a person coming to your doorstep. You may not be able to go to theirs, but they're coming to yours now. It's just other ways that we have to find to be a witness. Online, social media, reaching out. We all know friends and family that we know are not saved. What better time to be a light, to be a witness than now? Our pastor, Brother Howe, he had made a very clear, very straightforward presentation of the gospel and put it online. If you haven't yet, share that. Tag somebody in it. Share it directly to them. Share it on your page. Send them a link to it. Do what we can to get people the gospel. And my prayer is that I, like the Apostle Paul, would feel that weight, that necessity being laid on me to be a witness, to share the gospel with those around me. God's given us the most important task in the world. I heard the story of it was in the first half of the 20th century. There was a missionary to China, did a great job as a linguist and as a diplomat. In fact, he was so good at what he did that he kind of caught the attention of some American companies that were in China and offered him a job because he was such a great linguist. And so he was offered this job with a very attractive position, very attractive salary, and he turned it down. He figured that would be the end of it, but they came back to him again and offered him an even higher salary, and he declined it again. Finally, they came back to him a third time, offering actually double of what the initial salary offer was. And so it was then that he told them this, and I love this. He said, "It's not that the salary is too small. It's that the job is too little. You know, God has given us a great task, far greater than anything we can accomplish in the business realm or in sports or anything else you could think of. God's given us a great task at hand, and God has given it to all of us. Look, no matter what God has called you to do with your life, no matter what profession he's led you into, that's all secondary. God has called us to be Christians first. And as Christians, God has commanded us to declare his gospel. And woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel, if we neglect to do so. May God help us to be a witness during this time in whatever realm, whatever area that God has placed you in. May God help us to be faithful to declare the gospel.